My parents put their names on the title when I bought my house and won't leave since moving in. Don't miss out on the fun. Hit subscribe button and join our community for more stories like this one. Hello, my wife and I have a predicament and could use some help. About 8 years ago, I was interested in buying my own small house at the age of 25, and my dad in particular told me that he wanted his name on the deed, just in case, and at the time I didn't know what such entailed. Fast forward 2 years and my aging parents moved in with me and said that they needed a place to stay while they looked for a good rental. 2 years later they are still living with me, and I ended up getting married to my fiancé shortly after we found out that she was pregnant with our son, and by this time I gave my parents the upstairs because of their deteriorating health, and we moved downstairs. Since that point we have been raising our son in a basement, and my parents pretty much took over the majority of the property, and many fights happened due to such. Eventually, my wife and child became tired of living in a small basement at some point along the line, and my parents refused to leave and actually threatened to have my wife kicked out on a few occasions. I've paid for roughly 80% of the total property value so far in the process, and they covered their half of the utilities. Now the house is nearly paid off, and it's been 6 years since they moved in, and this has caused marital issues, and my wife and I have stopped communicating with them, and we haven't exchanged words in around 3 months now. There is a rent-owned property near us that is out of our price range to an extent, as it would take up over 60% of our wages in rent and will take 10 years to pay off after the large deposit we thankfully can barely cover by using all of our savings and a small loan. But I feel like I had my home stolen from my family, and we will have to start at square one and have a solid 10 years of financial insecurity. I feel like my parents pretty much derailed my life and have damaged my marriage and son's mental health in the process, just because they refused to leave my home that I paid every dime I saved for 8 years to own, and the entire situation has caused me to go through severe depression, and I've felt suicidal a few times due to it all, because I feel like I have failed my family and that the relationship with my parents is over. All because my parents ended up liking the house and their refusal to follow through with their promises to me. I am considering offering them $10,000 to move out and cover rent for half a year on a modest house, but I doubt they will take it. That money was going to be used to pay off the mortgage, but at this point I don't know what else to do. Another sad thing is that my wife's mother stole over $8,000 from her daughter's savings account prior to me meeting her and spent it all on food, movies, books, Facebook games, etc. So we had to cut ties with her, and now the same is happening in regards to my parents, and it's just heartbreaking. I try to do the right thing, and I feel as though I was taken advantage of in the worst ways possible. If I could go back in time, I would never have allowed my parents to put their name on the deed for co-signing, and would have literally asked any other person I knew to do so, without such a demand, but I didn't know back then. Now, my son is going to lose his fenced-in backyard, we will lose our garden, our garage, that they took over anyways, the home I fixed up and repainted, etc. And I just don't know what I can do anymore. If we rent, we will have to pay over triple our current house payment, and if we rent to own, we will have a similar house payment, but a large deposit we will never get back. Apartments are out of the question, and roommates won't work either, as we value our privacy. Is there any possible way to get my parents to move? I have no problem whatsoever with giving them $10,000, $20,000, if it means they can leave, and we can maintain a healthier relationship. But my dad would likely not even take $100,000, because he is extremely stubborn and selfish. Is it really that much to ask for them to get a rental or anything else at this point? They are in their mid-60s, and I feel like my family is not being given a chance at this point. We love this home, and have had a lot of great memories here, and our son couldn't be happier, as there is plenty of space to run around with his friends, but having to start over with nothing to show for it, after all of the work my wife and I have done. I'm tired of having friends over, and others pitying my wife and I for our living situation, but I don't think we can comfortably do anything else at this point, as we aren't high-income earners and have been saving, and not spending on anything extra at all. Meanwhile, my parents have bought new vehicles, a massive smart TV, fancy furniture, etc., while my wife and I are sleeping on a mattress on the floor and wearing scraps for clothes, and our son is only managing due to kind friends giving us hand-me-downs for him. I'm just at a loss, sorry for the long post, but I would love some advice on our options. Thank you for reading, and have a nice rest of your day/night. Comments. Please get copies of all the payments you have made on the house, including maintenance, updates, and taxes. Then go see a real estate lawyer in your area and explain what happened. You most likely have options, but since your parents have been living there for 2 years, their tenancy will most likely cause further issues. Do not move out until after you have resolved this issue, as you are also in tenancy. Go see a lawyer and find out what you can do. Don't move out. Take back some space. It sounds like it will be hard for you to stand up to them, but you have to. Don't offer them anything without speaking to a lawyer first. You are living in the basement. Shut the power, water, heat, air conditioning off at random times. Park your car on such a way as to block the entire driveway. When you leave the house, turn the radio up really loud. Throw loud parties. Invite your son's entire class over to spend the night. Become the worst neighbors ever. Probably won't get them to move, but it might make you feel better. Sometimes I feel sorry for myself for not having parents, and then I read something like this. Honest truth is legally they own 1/2 the house. You can either sell the house and give them 1/2 or buy them out. Sorry you and your family are in this situation. I hope it works out. Your only option is a quitclaim, where your parents sign away their claim on the deed. You will probably need some hefty leverage to do this. If they can't be paid off to do this, get a lawyer. I don't know if you can sue them, but that's probably an option. You've paid 100% of the mortgage, so gather all your receipts. They've been paying their share of utilities, but not of the property. If you sue them for their half of the mortgage, that might be enough leverage for a quitclaim deed. After that, you can legally evict them. Of course, this is the nuclear option, but since you are sick of their crap, it's probably worth it. Lawyer up. Get all the documents from when you bought the house. Also, have documented proof that before they moved in, or even after that, you were the one paying for everything. My mother-in-law and even my grandpa both went through similar situations, but with rent-to-own people. Please don't give up. You deserve to appreciate what you worked hard to have. Your parents are adult children. How could they do that to their own blood? What they are doing is beyond messed up. Subscribe and hit the bell button for the best Reddit stories available.